Today's question is, if you could go back and relive one day in your life without changing anything about it, which day would you revisit? I don't know the specific day, but I would like to go back and relive some of the days with my grandma, my maternal grandma, Grandma Eddie. Her name was Edna, but she never went by that. Grandma Eddie. Over the summer of 2007, I had a lot of days with her, and it's funny because the circumstances of being with her were not great at all, because she had almost died in the December before that summer. She was in the hospital for, gosh, a long time, maybe like a month or so, maybe more than that. I don't remember. She wasn't expected to get out of there. She was in the ICU for most of that time in the hospital. She had a surgery that, like, honestly, I can't begin to tell you the process of. I've never really bothered to learn too much about it. Isn't it? It was a significant part of my life, but it's like I just, I was a little kid, and as I get older, I'm just like, I don't need more details of what, like, almost killed my grandma. But yeah, she had a surgery. She ended up being in the hospital for a long time and it was a lot because of doctor error, which is so scary to me. And I've read before that that's actually a huge cause of mortality. In like the mortalities ranked, it's like pretty high up there, which is messed up. And I know that everybody makes mistakes, but wow, we put so much trust in doctors, and the fact that ends up being a lot of the ways that people die is, them not being worthy of that trust is really freaky to me. So there was that whole thing. And then because of her getting out of the hospital and being disabled from the surgery that she got for, she was disabled the rest of her life, but she was like literally not even able to take care of herself for some time. My mom, my sister, and I all had to move in with her and my grandpa in this not huge house that was not close to where I went to school. And it was just such an awkward situation. And we had just moved into a new place, my mom, sister, and me. And so I was not thrilled about this move. And I honestly had a bad, snotty little kid attitude about it. I mean, sort of understandably, I was 12. That's sort of how it goes down. You sort of feel like your needs and your wants should come above other people's. And, I have to give some grace to myself. But yeah, no, I didn't have a good attitude about it at all. And I spent pretty much the whole rest of that school year both doing terribly in school because of, just being psychologically messed up, both from the school that I went to, which I talked a little bit about in a video called Bad Science, and then just all the stuff going wrong in my life. Now, I ended up surviving that school year, which, if I was going to fail a school year that badly, I'm happy that it was one early on, because you learn that you survive it. And then, hey, every year after that, maybe there were some years when I had a handful of C's on my report card, maybe even a D, like one quarter. It's like, hey, well, it wasn't that year of 6th grade, so hey, you're doing pretty awesome. But the summer that followed, when I was, at my grandma's place, and Mom had to work during the day, there were a lot of days where Grandma needed to go to an appointment and she needed somebody to go with her. And so I would accompany her. Me and my sister, or sometimes just my sister. It was sort of, it just depended on our schedules. But there were a lot of days when just I was with her. And I liked having my sister along. So maybe I'd probably choose one where my sister was there too. And just a day going to a doctor's appointment with Grandma just felt like the best thing in the whole world. It was like the best time that I could remember. Because, I had my grandma, who I was now appreciating, I think, much more for doing all the fun stuff that she did. After, her bout in the hospital. And, it sounds funny. As a kid, going to the doctor, especially if it's not anything serious you're going for, or if it's with somebody, it's not too bad. The place is all pleasantly decorated. They give it a nice chill ambiance. I kind of enjoyed going to her doctor's appointments. And we'd get food at the food court there, or sometimes we'd go to Wendy's or something. And sometimes the whole trip would be coupled with a movie or going to Goodwill or, just some other thing. And I think it's so funny that it's a time when we specifically had to be with Grandma to do something, do some kind of errand. But not only did she make that like the most fun day that you've had in a while, but it was also like, yeah, sometimes it's it's a day when you're more or less going out and just doing whatever the heck you want to. That is, it's actually more enjoyable than like a holiday where everybody's gathered together and we're all expected to be in this one place and do this one thing because it's tradition and, you're just supposed to. And I had many great times at, family dinners, especially on that side of the family. But it just felt like the world was ours. The world was mine and my grandma's, and my sister's. Just having no agenda, exactly. Like you have the one thing that you have to do, but then you're just out on the town with this awesome lady. And those days of being stuck at that house, we were kind of stuck, but it doesn't feel like we were as stuck as it seemed at the time in hindsight, which of course, that's always going to be the case. I'm going to look back at this time right now and think about how wonderful all those circumstances were and how like simple and not complicated things are, because your life's just always gaining complexity. That's when people talk about the nostalgia of youth, that's definitely one of the things that I remember is just a nice sunny day and going to get a Frosty and some chili. And I, just really miss my grandma some days. And I really do wonder what she would be saying about, what I'm doing with my life right now, or if she would have had some effect on it. And she just would have been a really good source of support. And it's been almost 10 years since she actually did pass away now. And I still don't always know that I've totally processed it. But, love that lady. Love that lady very much. And when I get to the great beyond, yeah, we're gonna spend a whole day going to the movies and to Goodwill and to the library, and we can include a doctor's appointment for nostalgia's sake if we want to, but it'll just be a checkup, nothing serious.